Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. Today we're going to go and take an in-depth look of my 96 Tahoe and see what features it's got and see what some of the work and plans that I have, what's in store. So let's jump behind the wheel and get this on the road. So guys, as you know, in the last episode, I picked this 1996 Chevrolet Tahoe. It's a base model formed up in Calgary to replace my 2019 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. So why did I go from a basically new truck all the way to a 25-year-old two-door SUV? Well, we'll find out exactly why that is, but I'll tell you at the end of the video. But for now, let's go take a look at this Tahoe. It's basically General Motors' last full-size two-door SUV that they built in this type of body style. So it's reminiscent of the K5 Blazers and the two doors, which they made back to the late 60s. Very popular in the 70s and 80s. But by the 90s, it was a very outdated platform. General Motors revamped it from bumper to bumper, but still kept a bunch of key features that made it one of the best, most capable two-door SUV on the market. So let's go take a little bit of a walk around on this truck, talk about what this truck has and what it doesn't have, and look at some of the plans that I have for my Tahoe. So guys, here it is. It's in a beautiful blue. I don't have the name of this color, but I will unveil it when I do find out and in future episodes. But basically, this is a former BC Hydro truck. It's probably what a supervisor would drive or any patrol type of people. So it had a commercial life from the beginning, and that's kind of where it stayed. However, it's gone through, 25 years, the body on the bottom of the rockers, which is traditional. One of the issues with these vehicles, whether it be a Ram Charger or a Bronco, these things do have some inherent problems, lower rockers, wheel wells, etc. This is no different. However, it's only localized to those typical areas. The floors and the rest of the body is in pretty nice shape along with the paint. The bottoms I can do a bit of a cheap touch-up, which I probably will just in the beginning until I decide what the future plans for this truck are. So yeah, it's just basically one of the best looking two-door SUVs out there. My favorite is the Ram Chargers. The 81 Trail Duster, the Plymouth version, is my favorite, even though it's just a couple nameplates versus the Ram Charger. Always love this style. They're tried and true. They're one of the most capable off-road vehicles you could purchase with its short wheelbase, heavy-duty 1500 suspension based on their Chevy trucks, and of course with a powertrain that I would say will rival a lot of imported vehicles such as the Toyotas, Nissans, and all those ones. The benefit of this platform over some of the imported ones will be something apparent, is that the cost of operation will be lower when you need to go replace things. As an aged vehicle happens, I don't care what it is, you're gonna have to start replacing parts. Those parts on the Japanese will be harder to get, won't be as plentiful. If I go where I'm living in Alberta, there's Chevy dealers in every town, small, medium, and large. And there's also part places all over the place to buy parts, which they stock for the Chevy 350, plentiful. Parts are not hard to get. On top of that, because it has a lot of common parts with the Chevy pickup trucks of this era, finding used parts at a recycling yard is a lot easier. And again, the price point is lower. So you're getting a really robust engine, transmission, front end, rear axle, full frame, and you're getting it into a nice sporty SUV style. So that's kind of why I went with this over, let's say, a 4Runner or an older Japanese 4x4. This one here, from a cost standpoint, I could do more with it for less money. Current mileage on this one is very high, but I believe that obviously the parts have been changed in it. The odometer now reads 395,000 kilometers, almost 400,000, but it drives very smooth. Gets decent fuel mileage for what it is, and I'm pretty happy with it. So it's got good tires, good brakes. These wheels are not the normal standard steel wheels that you would get on a commercial vehicle, but it does offer some sporty flair. I'm definitely going to keep this set up because they're brand new tires and the wheels are in great shape, other than needing a bottom a little bit touch up. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. Let's go hop on the interior, take a look at the instrumentation panel, the seats, and where this is. So again, crank windows. It's got a basic form. It's got the best, in my opinion, floor shift 4-wheel drive. The seats are very comfortable for long distance driving with an armrest, nice and cushy. It's not ripped or anything like that, and the padding is still really thick. So the seats are of excellent quality. Of course, some of the trim stuff is, worn out over the years. Again, you can see that instrumentation. It does have the newer consoles and the dashboard design than the 94 to 95s. So it's a little bit more modern. It does still have a cassette, and it does work. Again, passenger side, it's got the, just your typical crank windows and then power door locks, and that's it. It's my favorite part of a two-door SUV is the back end. You got a big cargo space, full-size spare that's mounted inside, and some really good backseat room with really good panoramic window view for those long-distance driving. And it's got some nice speakers in the back on the roof, on the back of the roof. Stereo's pretty good. It's time period correct, so it's not going to compete with the new ones today, but also it will compete with for what you're paying for. It's got dual cup holders that hide away in the dash. It's got a nice little cubby hole here, air conditioning, HVAC controls, again AM FM stereo. It's got tilt, and it's tilt, and it doesn't have, it's got cruise, tilt, air cruise, all your typical ones. And again, some aftermarket floors. To get in, again, you can go in there and take a look. So look at all that nice panoramic window view, something you won't get in today's SUVs or some of the more four-door modern ones. Too many pillars in the way for good visibility for the rear or for the passengers. Well, everybody, here's the engine, a 5.7 liter Vortec V8 producing approximately 250 horsepower. It's a tried and true General Motors design. It's been in every one of their vehicles, from their medium car line to their full-size car line, Cadillacs, pickup trucks, whatever you have. They made over 40 million of these engines. I believe at least 30 to 40 million of them. The later ones with fuel injection, they just ran better, a little bit better fuel economy. And the best thing about it, it is totally easy for buying parts, repair work, and even if you have to replace the whole engine, it will have a lot of options at the local scrap yard or recycling yard. We don't scrap anything, we recycle these days. So again, other than just doing some basic maintenance, oil, tune-up, air filter, I'm not going to really go into too much modifications. This is just to keep it running good, looking good, and having enough money left over to enjoy the vehicle. But right now it's running good even with the high mileage. So I'm guessing that the motor has been replaced at one time. And in the business end of it, it's a split tailgate design where the window and the back tailgate are separate. So you got a nice seat here if you want to sit down. It's got a generous cargo space. So again, like I said, roof mounted speakers. And then we got the full-size spare. Comes with the bracket that holds onto it so you can get some other type of equipment when you're going off-roading, or any type of roadside equipment that you want to use. You could probably use, add this space. The carpet has been removed, so it's just the metal. It's a really strong floor, no rust holes or anything like that. Again, commercial grade. I might upgrade that to carpets. The seats do fold down, so I got really a lot of generous room. Or I could make this into a basic mobile hotel. I could throw an air mattress in the back and have something where I can just keep a one and done and carry less equipment with me. I am going to take this thing off-roading, not too hardcore, lightly at first, and I'm going to do a lot of adventure riding. In the province of Alberta, we've got lots of choices around here. This is a provincial park that I'm at. It's right at the foot hills of the Rocky Mountains going west where the camera's pointing. So you've got the Crow's Nest Pass, a lot of different types of adventure driving you can do. And of course, down in Alberta, there's a lot of clubs, a lot of people are into this. So I'm looking forward to taking this guy out on some beautiful adventures for the YouTube channel and get a lot of good scenery in there. Again, this carpet's aftermarket. I'm gonna get rid of that and put a whole bunch in there. Couple episodes that I will do is definitely what I'm going to carry in there, my off-road equipment, roadside type of safety equipment that you should keep in it. And then what I'll talk about is that trailer hitch, carrying my dirt bike with a hitch mounted hitch carrier. So that's kind of the whole truck in a nutshell. Now, what are some of my plans? Well, let's go talk about them. Well guys, what kind of modifications am I going to do with this? Well, I'm going to separate them from the maintenance, care, and the mechanical running gear to the actual modifications that I'm going to make. I will probably upgrade the tires and the wheels just to do some off-road wheels, so more like an aggressive all-terrain. A BFG KO2 is what I'm thinking at this point. The other upgrades that I'm going to do is actually really simple, not too much. I'm going to get rid of that carpet. As you may notice in the video, the carpet is like a dark green or like a teal. That was put in there throughout the years for whatever reason, but I might go to another tan carpet to keep the interior all the same, or I might source out some rubber mats. Speaking with my buddy Kyle though, we talked about the rubber mats, which might be good if your boots are wet or muddy. The carpet doesn't get dirty, but then the problem is any moisture underneath the rubber it can't air out any of the water and the moisture, which is probably going to happen. So the carpets will breathe a little bit better, even though they might get soiled and be wet. So I got to kind of make a determination on what the best course of action is. If you have a suggestion, definitely drop it off, post it down in the comment section. The rest of it, well, I'll have to see how much body work I want to get into. Definitely down the road, if I have the means and the resources, I will definitely get it all resprayed. Might do the aftermarket wheel wells on what you'd find on the Z71 off-road package and do more of a color key that way. I like that look with a little bit of the steel basic commercial truck rim on a nice aggressive tire wrapped around. I think it would add to the mean look of this. The rest of it, just chase all the little issues that I have, which I did have one when I first bought it. The blower motor seized up, which I picked a new one up for 60 bucks in Pincher Creek at Bumper to Bumper. So once again, parts that are gonna go on it are affordable and easy to source, which is very important when you're driving an older vehicle to keep it on the road. But that wraps up this video, guys. If you liked the video, hit like, hit subscribe. Let me know what some of your suggestions are. Of course, now that I own the truck, it might grow over the weeks and months and years that I keep it. And yeah, guys, if you're new around here, hit like, hit subscribe. I'd love to have you along this drive. And we'll catch you in the next episode of Cordetti Motorsports. You guys stay loose for now. Catch you later.